Now, you have said individual radicalisation is a key issue to understand when collaborating closely with foreign nationals and soldiers working in highly stressful and highly politicised environments. And you ask, how does NATO deal with issues such as the insider threat? Well, minimising radicalisation in a theatre of operations is perhaps the essence of a military hearts and minds approach. I like to think that not making it worse should be one of the core aims of a NATO or other coalition force. A lot of political awareness and cultural sensitivity is required if you are going to be present and active in another country without making enemies. Work such as that undertaken by NATO's Centre of Excellence for HUMINT, that's Human Intelligence, that explores the human aspects of the operational environment, can help set some basic norms for coalition members. And much work has been done on counterinsurgency approaches, and the difficulty of working in close proximity to nationals of the home nation is not a new observation. Working in a coalition with a host nation necessarily requires mutual trust. When different views of situations exist, bonds of commonality and commonality of interest are weakened. Coaching and mentoring relationships are perhaps not unlike marriages, and both can be damaged by irritating traits if there's no will to accept the other. As in a marriage, external encouragement or leverage that pits one side against the other can doom an otherwise successful relationship. I suppose that there are two possible approaches to minimising the effect. One is to get closer still, so that you know your colleagues intimately and are able to detect early signs of changes in their behaviour or attitude. The other is to distance oneself so that physical access making attacks possible is limited. But the second option stresses relations further still and may bring about more attack attempts. So the choice of action will depend on circumstances and on the task at hand. We've learned many lessons the hard way, but there is no one-size-fits-all solution. The insider threat has had an adverse effect on ISAF, it's true. It puts a strain on the trust built between ISAF soldiers and their Afghan counterparts and hampers effective cooperation. Moreover, regardless of their actual involvement in insider attacks, the Taliban have been exploiting incidents in the media, creating a misguided perception that the Afghan national security forces have been compromised by the insurgency. ISAF has devoted a lot of resources to better understanding and mitigating the threat. Research showed us that the insider threat was not a simple linear cause and effect issue, but it was multifaceted and therefore complex to manage. Amongst the main causes were insurgent influence through infiltration or impersonation, interpersonal disputes, extreme views, and the strains of Ramadan also had an effect. This research has helped us develop a series of effective mitigation strategies which have been very successful and have lessened the number of incidents significantly. Our mitigation efforts have been broad, comprehensive, and they cover cultural awareness, intelligence, force protection, and strategic communications. During Ramadan, for example, ISAF developed specific measures such as limiting meetings with Afghan National Security Force counterparts on Fridays and encouraging all units embedded with the ANSF to fast with them. As a result of our efforts, forces have become more aware of the threat and they're better equipped to recognise early warning signs and take preventative measures, in close partnership, of course, with their Afghan colleagues. As the mission in Afghanistan transitions to resolute support, NATO will continue to make assessments. We'll develop lessons learned and we'll adapt our tactics appropriately.